Montana secondary.
Well, the give is to the Justice Jackson in the backfield, crosses the 25, but a team tackle there by Montana. Dylan Ingram, your tight end, split out to the far side. It's a quick flanker screen, and the Grizzlies are all over it. For Montana, brings up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6. The run up the middle, that's a surprise, and the Grizzlies stuff it.
Aaron Best, Eastern Washington's head coach, kind of had a similar sentiment. He's like, they're coming from Cheney. It's cold there as well, but his message was that he's out here.
Worked for them.
Lucas Johnson, you saw his stats on the year. The give is to Nick Osmo, had that great game last week, but he stopped after a first down, brings up 2nd and 8. Johnson drops back, looking at and find a wide out. Nick Osmo eludes on the sidelines across the 30. Finally, out of bounds by cornerback Trey Weed with the Eagles. Here's another pass to Osmo out of the backfield, breaks the field, and he's in. A 3 and out. They march right down the field. Nico Ramos splits the uprights. History now, 7-0. Grizzlies with the early lead. Talkington's going to run across the 20, breaks the tackle, and slides down.
This will be fascinating as the game moves forward.
Give up the middle to Tuna Alter. Ball at the 22-yard line. Talkington's going to run a little to his left. Throws for his intended receiver. That's Freddie Roberson. He's their big play guy, and he's across the 4. First down for the Eastern Washington Eagles. Talkington looking for and finding Chait, nipping at their heels at 6-0. Here's a pass into the flat and complete. That's 21 for you fans at home. Here's the punt. It's going to send Deck retreating. He's going to let it go.
Johnson again with Osmo moving in the backfield. He'll hand it to Osmo, and he has a big running right up the middle. Breaks into the open. He could ball. The 20. No one's going to catch him. That's enough.
Ramos, of course, a walk-on. Oh, and he slips, and he still had 1 first down in the game. They're going to give it in the backfield. Justice Jackson, the running back again.
The running game just a little bit.
That was Brandon Montoya, the running back that time. Talkington rolls to his left and throws and completes the pass to Jaguar. Apologize, fans. We'll try to get it right as the game goes on. Another running play going nowhere. Nick Kokich, the punter for Eastern Washington. Another good punt. Draws Deck back. Breaks the tackle, but goes down. To see Montana up 14-0, 7:56 to go in the first quarter. Some play action pass. Lucas Johnson over the middle as Mitch Roberts wide open at the 50. Down across the 40. Nick Osmo in the backfield as the Grizzlies have it 1st and 10. Osmo tries to break a tackle at the 33-yard line. Malik Flowers in motion. The give is to Osmo, and he breaks across the 30. Stopped immediately at the 29. So here it is, 3rd and 4. Johnson will drop back. And he's looking deep into the corner. Incomplete for it. Osmo will go in motion. Now he comes back to get the handoff. He breaks in the open, gets the first down across the 20, down to the 19, maybe the 18. For the Eagles in on the stop. Johnson back to pass. They bring some pressure. Over in the corner. Is that Osmo again? That's 1st and goal, Montana with the ball at the 5-yard line. Lucas Johnson has a wide open Keelan White in the end.
The motors are running again at the Washington Grizz Stadium.
And Ramos splits the uprights. Special teams came up big. So here is Talkington. He's got some pressure from behind, and he's taken down from behind. Only going to see limited play today, we're told. Here's a running play, and the Grizzlies stuff it.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Spot first to get him down to the ground. So Talkington goes across the middle. That's Chisholm again, and it's complete. 3rd and about 20. Talkington drops back to pass, throws into the flat, but bounces it. Ball intended back at the Grizzly 46. The Grizzlies almost got that block. They send Drew Deck back. He stumbles and goes down right field behind Lucas Johnson. And he'll get the handoff and is stuffed right away. Game with 38 tackles, but 4 sacks and 8 tackles for a loss. Here's a little pass into the flat to Childs. Kalispell freshman Patrick Rohrback will punt for the first time since the Weber State game. There were no punts last weekend, and a fair catch is Content trying to get his offense untracked here. Back to pass, throws, it's intended and complete, but it's a short game.
They're going to rely on the pass game.
Talkington running, passing, and it's complete.
The football on the Grizz front.
Kokich punting it from his 15, kind of a sidewinding kick. Sends Drew Deck back to the 25, but he picks it up in stride and gets out to the crowd. It might be a sellout. We'll find out in the third quarter. Here comes Malik Flowers on the fly sweep. Breaks into the open and across the 50 for another.
Personally, that's the coolest game I've ever been a part of. And I think it was just kind of kick-started us when it started coming down in the first quarter pretty hard.
Facing one storm, but it's a big storm today.
Johnson completes to Grossman. The tight end is loose at the 30, the 20. Can he get it in? Maybe out of bounds, just shy of the goal line.
Grossman.
Osmo in the backfield. The Grizzlies have their tight end set in there. The give is to Osmo, and he's in the end zone for another.
Just aren't tackling well. You saw Grossman break 3 tackles to get it down to the 2. He's a touchdown maker.
Hold by Roberts, kick by Ramos. It's good. That brings up 2nd and 10. Talkington back. He's got some pressure again. They go to that flanker screen, and the Grizzlies are all over it. The Montana Grizzlies. Talkington will roll to his left, get some pressure, finds his man. Oh, but he breaks a tackle across the 40, and out of bounds he goes, but not before. Eastern Washington trying to get on the board. They trail at 28-0. Talkington straight back, getting some pressure now. Now from the rear. Now he skips out to the right, across the middle, and he finds his receiver. Now another first down as they have the ball. Their deepest penetration at this point. In the backfield, they're going to lose yardage here. The Grizzlies 11 now. The crowd getting into it, bringing some noise. Pass into the backfield, out to Tuna Alter. And he's stopped. Talkington back, has some pressure, dancing around. He better get out of there, and he does. Crosses the 35, and he's down. Grizzly Stadium, and the fans here enjoying a 28-0 Grizzly lead. Here's Isaiah Childs with the handoff. Gets up for about a 3
hours down as well.
Here's Lucas Johnson. Skips out of pressure, crosses the 40. He's going to run it, cross midfield, and he goes out of bounds. Ball at the 45. Isaiah Childs in the backfield. Fake handoff. Johnson stepping, and now he's going to be Isaiah Childs in motion. Johnson, he might want to run it again. No, he's going to hit Simpson again. This over the middle across. Drew Deck in motion on the far side. The give is to Isaiah Childs, who breaks across the 45. Now across the 35, down to the 30. Osmo in motion. Here comes Johnson. He'll pitch it to Nick. Across the 20, breaks at the 15. Down to the 10. Once into the end zone. Military Appreciation Day with that cannon. Ramos splits the uprights again.
Different things schematically because he's so talented. I'm talking about Lucas Johnson.
Gunnar Talkington on their heels. They trail 35-0. A big stop there.
Same play we saw earlier in the game. Unbalanced, bombs away on the deep balls.
Kokich punting from his own 20. Drew Deck back for the Grizz. Has it in stride. Breaks a tackle at the 30. Has some blockers across the 40. Still on his feet.
Osmo goes in motion. He'll get the handoff. Up across midfield at the 50. Breaks into the open again. Breaks the tackle.
It's a combination, I suspect.
Here he goes again. He almost lost the handle. He breaks into the open. Breaks another tackle down across the 30. The Grizzlies since 1990, but hard pressed to do that today. Here's Isaiah Childs. Little mix up in the hand. Grizzlies have in mind here on 4th and 6. Johnson throws it to Grossman. And the tight end looks like he has enough for the first. Now in motion, that's Isaiah Childs. Johnson running for his life, throwing into the end zone. Oh, collision by the Grizzlies. Into the game. He'll give it to Isaiah Childs, and he's in for the score. And that, my friends, a down. And Ramos splits the uprights again. Still 3:40 left here.
Down the stretch and then into the playoffs if these young men need to play at a certain spot.
Handoff. Nothing. You see the score there on the Les Schwab scoreboard. Talkington gets the snap. They try the flanker screen this time. It's complete. And Robbie Howe combined on that tackle. Talkington throwing across the middle. Has Chisholm. The screen. Where we're standing this game. Been an offensive explosion for the Grizzlies. Now a pass over the middle. That is complete.
As long as they keep playing like this.
Talkington looking deep. Throws over the middle. He has Chisholm. Or Roberson, Weber State holds the record. Here's Talkington getting some pressure. Throws it out to the flat. That's complete to Jacoby.
Expectations.
Intended for Chisholm. Here's the running play. Blown up in the backfield by Alex. Facing 2nd and 19. As the clock ticks down. The final minute. Talkington is sacked. Fans get into it. The kick is up. And
Nick has an opportunity to go after that record today.
And with the kickoff, is that Junior Bergen? Loose at the 40, 30, breaks a tackle, down inside the 20. Well, we hadn't mentioned that Junior Bergen. I'm going to check because there's...
The Eagles need him at his best.
Here's Daniel Britt throwing to the end zone, wide open! Nico Ramos in to add the extra point. Roberts the hold. And
maybe he's just a little bumped up. And because of the score, they're trying to get the...
Asparas calling the signals, rolling to his right. Grizzlies apply some pressure. He's going to run it across the 20. Lucas Johnson on crutches on the Grizzlies sideline after taking that weird shot. Here's Drew Deck, gets the bounce. They're making their pay today. Here's the fly sweep to Malik Flowers, breaks into the open at the 45. Out of bounds, or nearly out of bounds at the 50. Cuts.
And I'm looking for the future, right?
And Britt is going to keep it right up the middle, gets the first down and then some across the 35. What we do best. Here's the give now. Isaiah Childs in the background, cuts to the outside across the 30, still on his feet. And that's what Bobby Houck says. He also has a 3.8 GPA. Britt gets out of trouble and finds Keelan 25. Take the handoff to Childs. Britt's going to run up the middle. He has nothing but green. He's going to end.
That's the old hitch, go or throw drill right there.
Ramos perfect on the quarterback. Vesperas in, calling the signals after Talkington took a shot to his knee. Now he's going to run it across the 15 himself. Out to maybe a little slow getting back from halftime. They're just enjoying this game altogether. Quick pass by Vesperas.
Not anymore.
Been a clean game. Grizzlies only had a handful, maybe one penalty in the first half. Vesperas and company have the ball at the 36. Running play, breaks into the open. Nice play. You see Vesperas, the redshirt freshman quarterback, hands the ball off. The running back gets up to the original line of scrimmage.
Offense, that's all they're trying to do here.
The crowd trying to generate a little pressure. Well, there's another flanker screen and a penalty flag fly. The crowd wants the defense to stuff them again. Let's see what happens. Vesperas over the middle. Intended and complete. Chip
coverage. Just got to make a play on the ball.
Freshman quarterback running around. Gets out of pressure. Still alive. Little twist move as he gets to Vesperas again. Going to have another running play. Correa down to the 10. Goal from the 15 after the 5-yard penalty. Vesperas back to pass. Getting some pressure across the middle. Complete. Nash foul from the 5. Vesperas wants to throw it across the middle.
And nice touch on the football behind that second level of the Grizzly return unit.
Daniel Britt in at the quarterback position, gives it to Isaiah Childs, who's up for a good gain. About Britt has a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown. Here he has Cole Grossman, the tight end, alone. And he runs and goes 56-7 lead. Here's the give to Childs, breaking left. Breaking a tackle across the 40. Childs get a little more on that first down run. Childs this time is going to be stuck in the backfield. Oh, Britt faked me out, and he gets taken down on a big hit.
These last 2 games here at home.
Over 500 yards total offense. Britt going to the corner, has a man.
The Eagles.
Marlon Jones Jr. on the defense. Here goes Daniel Britt. He's going to run it. Jumps to the outside as a penalty flag flies.
Are rocking and rolling.
Britt throwing towards the north end zone. Now he's going to run it. Has a man wide open who nearly, it was picked. When Grizzlies have the ball, or their defense has Vesperas in the end zone. Goes and finds a receiver who jumps up inside a minute. The clock ticks down towards the end of the third quarter. Here's the runner for Eastern Washington.
Was nice front door escape.
9 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 1. The Grizzlies get the running back stuck in the... Those are veteran related. Here's a pass play over the middle, broken up by the Grizzlies. Nearly going to do. Nick Kokic, the punter, puts his foot into it at the 35-yard line. And Drew Deck going to have those temperatures dipping down near 20. Here's the running play. That looks like it's John Canoon. But they haven't had a lot of third downs. It's been scoring on 2 downs. Here's Britt again. Complete. Britt from his quarterback slot. And he's going to keep it. Puts a great move and That tackler left. Giannacaro in the backfield. Now he goes out to the flat. Britt's going to throw it to Giannacaro. He has it. First down yardage across the 40. Down here this afternoon. Britt again in the backfield. Passing and complete. Mitch, see if that's a serious injury or not. Here's Giannacaro with the handoff. Barely back to the backfield calendar. November 20th. As Daniel Britt gives to Giannacaro. Nope, he's going to keep it. Down around the 40, breaks a tackle, loose at the 30 and out of bounds. Here, Britt, he'll hand off again. Oh, touchdown, Montana!
Ability to buy and all those things. So there's still some huge ramp.
Player for everything he's overcome for Montana. It's one of the best stories on this team and in the Big Sky Conference.
Good stuff, Taz, and what a pleasure to see him get to play after all the hard work he's put in. Eastern Washington. Absolutely.
That he's moving on a little bit earlier than just a football player.
Excellent coverage by the Grizzly defensive secondary there. Here's a pass across the middle. Wide open receiver. Asperas rolls out to his right. Grizzlies trying to put some pressure. Finally, in and out of the hands of the would-be receiver. Giannacaro in the backfield. Britt's going to keep it. Crosses midfield. Has a gain of about 4 yards. Shake out November 20th again is when the FCS playoff is going to be announced. The bracket down towards the 2-minute mark of the ball game. Asperas is running for his life, gets some help from the official, and now he steps out of bounds at about back deep for the Grizzlies. Good punt. Dak hauls it in. Fair catch, right? Final 30 seconds. Bobby Houck running out midfield to greet head coach Aaron Best.